You know, some of y'all that have been watching my videos, I hope they've done you some good. The whole deal was about to introduce you to maybe a new concept about God. God and religion are two different subjects, and the sooner everybody figures that out, the better. But what's all this get up behind you? All these pictures. Where in the heck are you? Well, what's the deal? What's going on there, Rick? Well, about 16 years ago, I went through some horrible times. A tragic breakup in my family, and so I ended up living in a camper trailer. I still do, and I love it. Oh, everybody felt sorry for me at first, but you know, the first night I spent in that camper trailer, oh, it was early spring and the trains were going by and everything, and I woke up in the morning, I went, had never slept better in my life. So this video is just gonna show you around my place here. This inner courtyard little fenced in area I got is called I call it the trailer Trashtine Chapel, and I live next door to a railroad easement. Well, through the years I've gone out there and cleared it and cleaned it up and keep it mowed and make it pretty. I call it Southpark. My last name is South, so I get to call it that, huh? And it is a park, you know. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. I'm kind of having fun making it. I'm rooting for you. Now, here's an aerial view headed from the east to the west of my spot here. The trailer Trashtine Chapel's right there on that patio. And right next door is Southpark. Yeah, I live at a dead-end street. Now here's coming from the west to the east. Below there is Southpark. Now that bare patch in the middle, I'm still working on that. That's where I had bluebonnets earlier. There's the space between my trailer and the railroad tracks. Yep, down there below all them telephone utility wires. Now here's me and my grandson, Logan. He's pretty good with this drone thing, and that's me waving at you. This is the turnaround here where we've got our picnic table where me and my neighbor people, we sit there and have interesting conversations and have a picnic every now and then or something. There's another shot there. Yeah, there's the driveway. How about that? Well, here I am, surrounded by jungle, poison ivy and catbriars. Well, look at that poison ivy right there. Well, a long time ago, that's what this used to look like. It's morning at Southpark. The Rose of Sharons are blooming, I see here. Got a little grove here. Oh, and here's a moonflower bed. These are all moonflowers here. Got flowering vines. I forget what you call these things, but they have these pretty blossoms like that. That was pretty. Yeah, this all used to be squalor, but you know, the spaces between railroad tracks and everywhere else Nobody really gives a hoot about them, but over the years I've cleared this out and tried to make it pretty. Now this is where I grow bluebonnets. That's why you don't see much grass in here. And look at that, morning glories going on the railroad track. I throw a little water on them every now and then. Over here we got a Rose of Sharon grove. Hey, does anybody know how to keep squirrels out of bird feeders? There's Old Glory waving there. And that says Southpark backwards because we're looking at the back of it. Now over here, we've got these vites. I think that's what you call them. And they've got pretty blooms too. There's the end of one. They're just about to start blooming. Look at all those buds. Look at all those buds. Over here we have a palmetto tree. All those buds are just about gone. They're pretty yellow. And this tree has some nasty thorns. Yep, there's a big red oak. And there's a up and coming pecan. Now here it is where you can read it. These are cross vines. They're not blooming right now. I planted these a few years ago. And then planted these last year. Here's a little, oh yeah, we've got some big trash cans here. Oh, here's a little sign that my dear sweet Debbie made. And here's our little patio we made here. Now, this fence used to be horrible looking. And we put a chain link fence there, and in a couple of years these cross vines here will cover up and look like those other ones. And here at the turnaround we've got us a picnic table. And this poor old pecan tree wasn't doing too good, but we've been watering it and it seems to be doing fine now. It's got plenty of leaves on it and everything. Yeah, here's a big moonflower plant and some cross vine on a trellis here. Now I'm fixing to show you a screenshot of what this used to look like before I brought in the new trailer. Beautiful. And here, let's go through the gate here. Well, here's a little spot. Got a little bench here. And let's see, here we are inside. Yeah, I love rocks, you know, rock work and everything. And here we have a little shelf, and then here we have a little L-shaped bar. And there's my upsidasium thing there. And we got another little deal here with some bar stools. Now, on this wall here, my daughter Mary South is a very talented young lady. This is William Blake marginalia. She took little bitty sketches of this stuff and expanded them. Charging my phone there. There's the child leading the blind man. Yep. Oh, and look at this door. I've always liked this image. It's another William Blake image. And over here, look here, the anvil of truth. And up here, look at that. It's a woman and looks like a little girl looking at a book. Now we don't know which way that book is facing, whether the woman's reading it or the child. And look at the smirk on that little girl's face. Oh yeah. Oh, look at here. You know, there's a verse in the Bible where it says that a child shall pet the snake and it won't bite her. And then here we have, looks like Jesus talking to a child. These are part of my constant reminders. And look at this. This is a moonflower. That thing is at least 7 foot tall. Yeah. Yeah, these are some big moonflower plants here. This is just 2 plants. And they're several years old. You know, if you cut them off at the ground when it gets cold, they'll come back next year. Usually. Look at all them bumblebees. They just love these moonflowers. I've seen 5 or 6 of them in the same flower sometimes. The birds and the bees. Yeah. These moonflowers, they open up when the sun goes down, and when the sun hits them again, they close back up. Beautiful. Oh, and the smell is wonderful. They smell like gardenias, kind of. Now this here is a segment of a painting by Raphael called The School of Athens. That's Socrates and Plato or something like that. And then over here we have a William Blake rendition of the 7th Angel of Revelation. Got a little book in his hand. Always wondered what's in that little book. These are my constant reminders, you know. Now here's one from the Sistine Chapel. It's the biggest picture I've got out here. Michelangelo painted all that stuff laying on his back. That took talent. Now over here, we've got another William Blake. Look at that, isn't that something? Oh, this is from the Sistine Chapel. Here we got another William Blake. The Ancient of Days, I think, is what he called this one. I've always liked that picture. I mean, it's wild, isn't it? And over here, look past the moonflowers. Here's another William Blake. You ever been in life where you're upside down and look at there, the wind's blowing up and you're trying to balance yourself? You know, life's like that, like sometimes. Now these pictures kind of got warped because the sun hits them. And but anyway, that's kind of a warped image anyway, isn't it? And here's one. This is Isaiah from the Sistine Chapel. Look at that curly-haired cherub talking to him. Isn't that something? Here's another William Blake. Now, my interpretation of this is that this isn't 3 people. This is going on inside of one person. Look at those other 2 people. One of them looks like they're fixing to walk off, and another one's sitting there like, oh, I'm scared, I don't know what to do. And then you got the fiery, flaming one there. Yeah, that creative, that part of you that wants to excel, that wants to know God. And then over here we've got, let me move this moonflower a little bit. That's Jacob and the angel. One who struggles, one who wrestles with God, one who prevails with God. Changed his name to Israel. Yeah, how about that? Anyway, these are my constant reminders because I need them to remind me that I've got something to do. I better be doing it. Now, this here is a gate. And as you can see, it's where my clothesline is. It opens up. Into Southpark out there. It's always pretty this morning. Yeah, here's what it looks like from the outside. Yeah. I call this the Trailer Trashtine Chapel. Yeah, this is my home. Yeah, that's actually a camper trailer there. It's about 230 square feet. That's all the room I need. And here we have a 2-seater hot tub. Me and my dear lady Debbie, we get in here in the morning on weekends and listen to music and just have a good old time. Got a little shelf there next to it. Look at that sun, isn't that pretty? Now, if I can get past these moonflowers, I'll show you the utility room. Yeah, here's the utility room. Got a washer and dryer in here and a freezer and a fridge. Got a little space there. Yep. Yep, you can do a whole lot in very little space if you don't pile up too much junk. Now, my daughter Mary painted these fan blades. I told her I want them to look like Vincent van Gogh did them. I think she did a pretty good job. They look like palm leaves on fire or something. I've got some really talented people that work for me, metal workers. These are functional, but they also serve as decoration for the patio cover here. Yeah, here comes the train. You know, sometimes they'll honk at me if I wave at them. There he is. Moving cargo across America, day by day. Now, this was a gift from a really good friend of mine. I coached him in football when he was in junior high. And he worked for me for 20, 25 years. And the little Texas sign says, Blue Devils to the death. It was the Arlington Blue Devils, that was the name of the team. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I built a big house for my kids. It served its purpose. But you know, I finally figured out that you don't own the house owns you. Just don't pay the taxes on it and see who really owns it. I know you hear some people talking about that the government, they wants to put us all in little bitty cubicles or something like that. Well, like I say, I got about 230 square feet here, and I love it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tour. Tally-ho.
Well, folks, how did you like my picture?